I think Hampini did say something about these wheels, right?
Yeah.
Can we do a bit of recap?
Yeah. So
I can't really remember what he said.
Okay. So Hampini said, what's called the spokes were loose. Some of the spokes I think broke. I think it was doing shipping and everything lah.
Hello Hambini fans and welcome to another episode of the Engineering Sarcasm Show, fronted by yours truly. In today's episode, all the way from Orchard Street 3rd floor in Singapore, these, which are Ascent wheels.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
Zik, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on the show after what 5 months of planning, man, and multiple postponements, and we are oh shit, it's starting to rain.
Oh shit.
I don't know if we can continue. You think we can continue?
Shit.
It's getting kind of heavy.
Okay.
Shit.
We move the stuff first. We move the stuff first. Okay.
Alright, yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
Okay.
I'm so sorry, guys. We had a technical issue. It started raining. So you can see now we're at a different location under the shade.
Teleport, bro.
Sorry, Zik. We were just going to introduce you. Yeah. We had a bit of back and forth for the past 5 months. We are finally here today at Upper Boon Keng. Thank you so much for coming, first of all. Could you please introduce yourself and what bike do you have here?
Okay, my name is ZK. So my bike is the Merida Reacto 5000, the Bahrain McLaren one, first gen. Because the new gen is all Bahrain Victorious. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So what else? You want me to talk about the specs?
Oh, maybe let's talk about you first.
Yeah, me lah. I'm a full-time mechanic at Attitude Bikes. So we are actually a mountain bike, and at the same time we are doing road bike also. But we do other bikes also lah. But mainly our job is, mainly our focus is mostly mountain bikes lah. Yeah.
How do you start riding?
I actually rode when I was younger. I started with BMX actually. Then BMX, then mountain bike. Then my first proper mountain bike was actually a Merida, Merida Big 7. They were actually, that time when there was no internet, only magazine. That was the only proper 27.5 inch mountain bike that was created for that rims, that particular rims. It was a new thing during that time. So after that, I didn't ride for a while. Then I found road bike. No, I didn't find road bike. I found mini velo first. Yeah, it was a straight bar, mini velo. Apparently, I wanted more speed. Then I changed to another mini velo. It was a road setup, 105 group set, everything. But the problem with using mini velo, right, for doing RTI, everything, you cannot maintain more than 35. You'll be spinning out ridiculously. Then I changed to a road bike, Java Suprema. Yeah, Java Suprema. By the way, this is all happened within 1 year. I changed bike.
Okay.
Then
Is it during COVID?
This one during COVID.
Okay.
Yeah, because nothing to do, right? Cannot go out, right?
Yeah.
So play bicycle lah. For 6 months. Then apparently that frame cannot take my weight. I was actually 97 kilo. The bike cannot take anything above 80 kilo. So if you do sprints, everything, right, your frame start to flex this way. Yeah, like that lah. Yeah. So I actually invested on a proper bike, which was stiffer, Merida Reacto, but I couldn't find my size in Singapore. Apparently, dealers in Singapore think that maximum is XS and below.
Why so funny?
Because the idea of the Merida Reacto, right, because they say the reach is a bit too long. I tried the XS. It was a hit and miss. It was a bit short, but at the same time, it felt like an endurance bike already. But it's an aero bike, bro. So in the end, I called a friend in Taiwan. Found a shop that actually sells this bike. Then ship it over.
Why did you buy it locally?
Locally, 4.5, bro.
Oh,
I bought everything 3.9.
Okay.
So price.
Yeah. So what is your height and?
My height 179.
Okay.
Inseam around 84.
So how do you decide on this is XS?
This is S.
S.
Yeah. So I needed an S size.
So how do you choose a bike size frame?
Because when I had my Java Suprema, right, I actually went for a bike fit. So they told me that 52 was a bit small for me. I needed like a 54, 55. So this bike top tube was before I lowered the thing was 54.5. So since I lowered the thing, it became a 55 already. Yeah.
Okay. Do you follow the chart on Merida's website?
No.
Okay.
Because like people must understand that all bikes are different in terms of geometry. Like I said for me the Merida I can go for 54.5, but on endurance bike I can go for 53. Because it's more relaxed. You see, so different bike, different geometry, different fitting. Yeah.
So you were riding the Java, and then you wanted to invest in a better bike.
Better bike lah.
Why a Merida, not any other brand? Giant.
Because I was a before I joined Attitude Bike, I was a home-based mechanic. So I did my research. Like I tried the Giant TCR. It was a cool-looking bike. It was very lightweight if you were to change everything to Di2, but it wasn't stiff enough. I tried the Specialized, very lightweight, but the price. The SL7 was with the rival was going for I think around 7-8K with 303S, Zip 303S around there. Then this one, the thing about Merida and Specialized, right? I think you know about this lah. They are from the same factory.
Same factory, yeah.
Same factory. Because Merida actually owns Specialized like 49% of the stocks. So you are technically getting a Specialized in a different batch. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you bought the bike from Taiwan, what components did it come with? Is it exactly like how we see it now?
No.
Okay.
It came with the crank was different. The crank was RS510 Shimano. It was like in between Tiagra and a 105. So you can actually fit Tiagra chainring on it, but it's very heavy. It's around I think close to a kilo just for the crank.
Could you? Okay. So now let's pivot to your bike. If you could run us through what do you have here?
Okay. So what I have? The things that I changed is my crank, rotor in power. It's a 30mm spindle, but the problem with this is that the bike actually doesn't really support a 30mm spindle. So I had to source out for a special BB that actually accommodates to this. The chain is something that most people don't really use. It's a YBN chain. If you go to zero friction cycling, right, it's actually a Dura-Ace chain with 2 to 3 times the lifespan. Yeah, and it doesn't rust that easily.
So it's very light.
It's actually quite light. Yeah, and it's very durable.
So are they hollow pins?
Yeah, hollow pins.
Okay.
Hollow pins. This has went through I think 3,000. The last time I tried to check with a chain checker, right, it still doesn't go in.
It didn't stretch?
It haven't stretched.
Okay.
Yeah, it handles power very well. Local rims, Ascent Polaris 69.
Yeah.
I got this before they actually launched. Last year August. Yeah, to test them out. So far it's very stable. If you are descending like 65, 67, right, you still can control. And crosswinds, everything, you won't have much of a problem. So speed is all there. Because the one thing I worry about white rims, right, is that usually white rims are meant for endurance. Yeah, whereas thinner width rims are meant for speed. But apparently this one can really go. Yeah.
We will talk about that later.
Yeah.
And could you maybe the last few bits is the saddle and the cockpit?
Saddle, Pro, Stealth, non-carbon rails. I don't really prefer the carbon rails.
What's the reason?
For me, steel is still better than carbon. Yeah. Especially for my weight lah. Yeah. Handlebar is by Control Tech, Cougar Carbon. Stem is the stock one.
So you changed out the handlebar?
Yeah, I changed the handlebar.
It's a very short reach.
Yeah, it's a short reach. Because if I want to slam the thing, right, at least it's not too far off. You see? These parts here and here, right, are all 3D printed.
Why? What do you mean? As in, it's not Merida?
It's not Merida.
Why?
Because if I want to do internal routing, right, if you buy the stock one, right, it actually comes out here.
Oh, it runs outside.
It runs outside.
Okay.
But you have a choice to make it internal.
Running through the stem.
Yeah, running through the stem. But this is not original. You can feel that it's actually 3D printed. Same goes for this part.
So how do you get these parts?
China.
Oh.
Yeah, it wasn't cheap but it was worth it
Okay, cool. And it's specifically you request it's a custom made one for your bike or?
Now they are selling it wholesale already.
Okay, because they know people want to route it inside.
Yeah.
I see.
So this part and the computer mount came from the same company. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So let's talk about group set first. So this it's Ultegra mechanical.
Yep.
But you changed out let's talk about crankset. This is the rotor ones. Is it with a power meter or not?
Yeah, it's a power meter, only left side.
Okay.
Yeah.
How accurate is it?
Compared to because I'm comparing to my friend who's using Axioma, right? Plus minus is actually the same. Minus maybe 5 watt.
It's cheaper?
Cheap. Yeah, it's very cheap. The only reason why I got this is because it was only $400.
Wow.
Yeah, $400.
but how's a rotor, why specifically rotor?
Because I want to try 30mm spindle. Because there's a difference between if you were to use a 30mm aluminum spindle and a 24mm Shimano stainless steel spindle. Because it is actually more stiffer than steel. Because more material, right?
Do you really feel it?
Yeah, I do, sir.
When you're off the saddle, is it?
When most of the time, it's not off saddle. It's most of the time when you are holding the speed.
Okay.
And it's lighter because it's aluminium.
Okay. So that's on the crankset. You run Shimano pedals.
Yep.
And funny RD cage. What's this?
This one is because the reason behind this OSPW, right? This pulley cage, right? Is because of one of my customers.
Okay. What's the story behind it?
The story is he actually bought this cage to fit into his Dura-Ace derailleur, but it was the older one. This is actually meant for the newer one, not the 12-speed one, the 11-speed one. So he bought this and actually a chainring also. He bought the chainring for the old one, but he has the newer crank. He bought this for the newer one, but he has the older one. So I bought over from him for actually less than $100 for this. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this?
It does help in some sense, especially when high speed. But honestly, it's just a bling thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a bling thing, bro.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
And you don't really save that much watts, right?
Yeah. The most watts, honestly, you will save from is actually your chain.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you running wax or lube?
I'm running wax, drip wax.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not the immersion kind. It's the one that you put on the chain.
Like squirt lube and
squirt
OSP. What's UFO?
UFO. I don't go for UFO. I mostly go for squirt. If I cannot find squirt, I will run smooth. Yeah, because the difference is very minute. It's like half a watt difference between this one and the UFO.
Okay. Let's go on to the frame first before we move on to wheels.
Yeah, can.
How's the frame, man? You know, I don't like that light on the seat post. It's a nice looking frame. I just don't like that seat post, that light there.
Yeah, but this seat post, okay, we talk about the seat post lah.
Yeah.
The seat post, for those who are using Reacto, right, please do not take this thing out, even though the light is ugly, because this thing actually saves your back.
You said there's some dampening effect.
Yeah. So it is advertised in Merida itself that it's called the S-Flex system. So people who take this thing out won't get the dampening that is needed lah. So you are feeling the full vibration up to your spine actually. Because I tried once doing RTI without this thing. I put a different light because honestly I also agree it doesn't look nicer.
Do you actually turn it on?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is actually, when you think about it, it is one of the easiest backlight to use because it doesn't blink lah. That's one thing. It just stays one light. But let's say you forgot to charge, you just change the battery. Then you can just ride.
It's a AAA battery, right?
AAA battery,
yeah. The highlight, which is this Polaris Ascent 69mm deep wheel set.
Frame? No.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Let's go to the frame. Sorry.
We go to the frame, bro.
Yeah. Tell me more about the frame.
Okay. For those who do not know, Reacto, I think starting for 5,000, right? It has the fork all the way to the top. The team edition, right? It's all the same. The only difference is the main frame lah. But Merida guarantees this, that the stiffness and the comfort is everything is the same compared to the highest. So the weight savings there's CF3 and CF5. Okay, that's how they grade the carbon. For the CF3 versus the CF5, you are paying a lot more just to save, I think, 180 gram. So it's actually, I think, if the last time I checked, it was around 2,000 more, just to get that 180 gram saving. But other than that, it's all the same. That is why I bought the Merida, because they do not have like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 just for carbon frame. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's the performance overall? Anything that you don't like, or it's up to your expectations?
So far, compared to most bikes that I tried, I actually like this one a lot more because there's comfort. It doesn't have that really straight top tube. It doesn't break your back so much. It is heavy, that's one thing, but it's heavy because it's stiff. So it's functional weight, you see? It's not something that the company just doesn't want to make it lighter. It's because they stiffen a lot of parts. So I actually love the bike a lot lah. It's like my second wife, lady.
For all guys who are cycling, this is our second wife.
Yes, correct.
We just don't want to admit it lah. Okay, so one more thing. What is the weight of the bike?
With everything total, I think closing to 9 kilo.
Ooh, a bit heavy.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter to you?
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Can climb or not?
Can.
With
bro,
9 kilos?
No problem. Most I complain only. I was like, my bike too heavy. But I'll just power through.
Yeah.
If you feel, from what I remember, I heard was every 300 grams is 10 watt saving. Yeah. So if I were to compare, okay lah, it's okay. I will just power through everything lah.
And the price right now with everything?
With everything, I think 7.5. Yeah, it's a 7.5 kilo. 7.5 K. Yeah, 1,000 bike.
Okay. Before we move on to wheel set, just on the saddle, this is the Pro Stealth, right?
Yep.
What's your advice to people who want to buy saddles? They don't know what's the width of their bum. Should they go for short nose, long nose, 3D printed, not 3D printed, rails? Yeah.
Okay, this is what most of the time people will ask me lah. For saddle, is really a personal thing. If you do not know what saddle you should use a stock saddle first. Then feel that if you were to lean more to the nose, right? If you are comfortable leaning in front, right? Try using a short nose saddle. but you push your saddle a bit in front, like halfway through. Okay, this is considered a short nose saddle. I had a shorter one, the ISM. Yeah, but the thing about that saddle is it's a bit too heavy lah. It's a triathlon saddle lah. But in terms of width, if you are, because we are Asians, right? We do not need so wide, but most of the time maybe a 143. I think this is 143. Will suit a lot of people lah. Yeah, but that is for guys. Girls is a totally different ball game. Yeah.
So then should they go to the shop and have it checked out? Okay, checked out maybe it's not right. What should they sit on? Because I know Specialized has that thing you sit on.
Then it measures the so it will image like there's your seat bone lah, everything. But honestly, that will be a rough gauge, 70%. But at the end of the day, right, is how well it what's called the canal and the saddle, the mid of the saddle, right? Offload from your soft tissue. Yeah, because if you feel that you are getting that, like as though there's no blood flowing through your bottom half, right? Then even if you buy a power mirror, also no point lah, bro. Yeah.
I get a lot of questions on Instagram, people asking me what bike size should I get. They're always like me, I'm in between sizes.
Yeah.
What's the advice? Do they go for a bike fit, downsize? How do they buy the right size bike?
Oh, if you're buying a minimum or a $3,000 to $4,000 bike, please go for a pre-fit. Okay, go for a pre-fit. Then they will tell you, okay, this you can get this bike, you can get that bike. It will fit you nicely, because at the end of the day, comfort is number one. Yeah, you're not. Most of us are not competing. Yeah, so we are doing like Round Island, or we just want to do a Tuesday ride where we just smash for a while, then we are done. We are not doing like Tour de France, bro. So doing a pre-fit will save you a lot of money. Because honestly, if I were to buy the XS, I will have a back pain. I'm not straight enough. I'm crunching. So doing a pre-fit is so much more cost savvy. Yeah.
There are people like me who want to save money.
Yeah.
But I would say I didn't really save money because I ended up playing with my setup a lot and I ended up spending more money. Should I just measure my height, inseam, keen to some kind of calculator or whatever that's recommended on the website, like Merida, for example? They have recommended sizes based on your height and inseam, and then I just follow that. Is that a good indication?
It's a good indicator, but it doesn't show you that how you pedal everything. Yeah. Maybe, okay, let's say we were to click, like let's say in Merida, I would say my inseam is 84, blah, 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 right? Then they say that, oh, you should buy an M. That's what they said, they have to buy an M. But the thing is, are you going to slam your stem? Because we are not using integrated seat post, let's say lah. I'm giving an example. So if let's say I'm not using an integrated seat post, I can adjust my seat post, but I still want to slam my stem, I need to buy a smaller size. So that's why doing a pre-fit is actually more cost savvy.
And pre-fit doesn't cost you a lot, right?
I think not that much. Compared to how much you're going to save in future, let's say, I think the pre-fit was around $500. But the thing is, you pay $500, you get your bike, you go to the bike fitter, they will fit you again. Yeah, so it's an all-in-one package.
Can I ask which bike fitter you went to?
Performance bike fitter.
Everyone's performance bike fitter, man. This guy must be pretty good for everyone to be heading to him.
Have you went there before?
No. I didn't go for a bike fit.
Okay, so you should just go there, just take a look. The amount of recognition he has, right? I was like, because I'm actually a sports science guy. So like, he has this, he does chiro, everything. So it's not what people think is, I sit on the bike, then I just cycle, then people just see. No, I was like, it is always best to do a bike fit in the morning because you're taller.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, let's say if I have to wake up in the morning, I am 1 cm taller, 1 to 2 cm taller. Really, I'm not joking.
I don't know if you're shitting me or...
no, bro, serious.
Okay.
Then, because once you're tired, right, you can take a look, like 5 to 6 o'clock, right, then you adjust your height again. I'll go down by I think like 178. Really, because you're crunching already. Because you're tired. But in the morning, right, you're fresh, so your muscles are more relaxed, so you are more stretched. So most of the time, what I saw is when you do a bike fit, right, you will do a bit to release your hips, everything. So check your leg. What's called which one is cacat, everything. Like my legs are actually cacat, no. One side can use 172.5 crank, the other side can only use 170.
Oh, okay.
It's that kind of thing. So if you have that kind of deviation, right, you should always get 170 crank.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Do not go to 172.
One side be stretching.
Yeah, one side is stretching. Knees, ankle, hip, all. Oh, chalet. I try already. Cannot.
So next time someone asks me what is your height, I will ask them daytime or nighttime lah.
Yeah.
Daytime different, nighttime different.
Yes.
Okay. Wheel set. This one I've seen it on a lot of YouTube channels now. Ascent has been sending it to a few guys.
Yeah.
I've seen good reviews on Oz Cycles. I don't know if it's Oz Cycle, Aussie Cycles, and then
yeah.
Topic, yeah.
Hambini.
we'll get into that. So apparently Hambini didn't have very good reviews about it.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the good of the wheels.
The good first lah.
Yeah. So tell us more about this wheel set. This is a local brand. It's a Singaporean company.
Yeah.
Are they made here and designed here?
I remember it was designed here, but I think it was made in China.
Okay.
Yeah, but the thing is, they own the IP, the molding of the rims. You see, spokes are all Sapin spokes where everybody can use. Hubs everybody can get. The
you have DT Swiss. This is 240, right?
DT Swiss 240.
Okay. So you get to choose different hubs.
Yeah, you can actually choose a different hub. Just that whatever you see in the website, right, is for the masses, because DT Swiss just works. You see, but you have a preference, right? Let's say you want, I want Onyx hub, or I want Chris King hub. You can just request. But you have to go down. You have to tell them that I want a Chris King hub.
And tailor it to you.
They will tailor to you.
What makes this wheel set different from other wheels?
Okay, the width, the internal width, is bloody huge. I think internally, I think it's 23 or 24, either one. If you to put like a 25mm tire like this one, right, it becomes a 29.
Okay.
And I can run lower pressure because of this.
But these are on tubeless or clincher?
Tubeless. I'm running.
Tubeless.
These are made to be tubeless. Yeah. So tubeless tires. External width. The biggest I've seen.
30 something, right?
31,
yeah.
Is
there a reason? I'm assuming aerodynamics or whatever.
Yeah, so it's actually due to aerodynamics. Because they're trying to, this is what I feel, is that they are trying to find a balance between performance and endurance. You see, if you go full performance, right, you won't get full comfort. You won't get comfort because you are playing with very thin wheels, like internal width of 16. Kind of thing. So you are using like 23mm tires. Flatline speed, you win. But if I want to maintain higher speed, but going like endurance, right? Internal width must be bigger. Tires must be wider. You see, people can talk about contact patch, everything. That one, throw it out the window lah. Because it doesn't make any difference. Bigger contact patch doesn't mean you go faster, but bigger contact patch, corner better.
Okay.
Yeah.
I used to run very wide tires. I wouldn't say very wide lah. I mean, for road bike it's 28, right? Then now I'm running a 25, but I feel faster on a 25. But obviously less comfort because my pressures are much more higher now. Do you think running thinner tires are much faster?
Okay. For people who are running thinner tires, for you can run 25. I cannot actually, technically lah, because weight does play a part. So, how heavy are you?
55.
55. Your bike?
Bike of my weight? The weight of my bike?
Yeah.
It's too heavy, too shy to say.
Too shy.
Okay, like 8 kilos.
Okay, like 8 kilos. Let's say 55 plus 8. So total system weight with your bottle, everything is 64. We got 2 bottles, let's say they got 2 bottles. 64. So by right, you are supposed to run. Not how high you run?
I'm also very shy to say, but 110 psi.
Oh my goodness.
Clinchers.
Okay, doesn't matter whether it's clincher or not lah. Because between tubeless and clinchers, right, the tire pressure is only I think 10 psi difference. Okay. Would you like to guess how much I pump?
Can I just press?
Yeah, press.
I felt lighter, softer ones. I would assume 80.
No, sir.
No?
My rear is running, I think, 70. My front is running. My front is running 65.
Wow, so
Yeah.
low.
So the thing is, there's a misconception that when you see a tire that, oh, I can pump to 120 psi or 25 psi, I have to pump that hard to go that fast. It's not. That's not how it works, you know. You need to let the tire deform at the road.
What do you mean by deform?
Because you need grip, So like car tire, everything, right? You need the tire to deform to the road. You see, so you have to go by your weight. You see, so like for me, like I said, front 65, back 70. Let's say like that lah. So for you, you're supposed to run, because you're running 25s. You're supposed to run maybe like front 75, rear 80. Scared, right? But don't be scared, bro. I tell you, you feel so much more faster.
I've got phobia of pinch flats because if I run it too low.
No, the thing is, people feel of pinch flat because you are not letting the tire deform. That's why you have to trust in the beat of your tire, no? You see, if you are buying branded tires, right, you shouldn't have that worry. Especially like GP 5000 or like for me, I'm running Michelin, so the beat of the tire that sits on the hook, right, it shouldn't come off. If it comes off, it's a problem with the tire or the hook itself. You see, do not blame because I run lower pressure, everything. But right, when you deflate your tire, right, it shouldn't like pop come. You got see before, right? The thing just pop. The thing in the middle, right? So there must be something wrong somewhere already. So it's supposed to stay. So if you run lower pressure, you get comfort. At the same time, you still can go faster. Because if you go too high, there is what's called this is a bell curve thing. This is where it's supposed to be, but if you pump too high, it goes down. You won't go faster because you do not have comfort to go fast. You see, you feel every bump. You want to feel every bump? I don't think so lah.
Okay. I'll try to deflate my tire a bit tonight. And then I'll go to TMC.
That's right. I think this guy is bullshitting me, you know.
No, but you must be right because everyone I speak to are laughing at me. They are saying, "What the hell? You're pumping 110 psi. Something is wrong with you." Yeah.
Because you're light. But the thing about people who are light, right? It's a bit harder to get the psi a bit right. Because you can actually ride a heavier frame. You see, like you say yours is 8 kilo, right? You'll be fine if I have to give you a full aero bike, the old one, 10 kilo one. You still ride the same, you see? Because you are light already. Right. People like me who are 87 kilo, you need like wider tires, slightly higher pressure. Don't need to run 110, everything. Because I tried 110 before. My coastal loop was slower compared to running lower pressure.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, we deviated a bit too much. Yeah. Let's go back to the wheels. So okay, that's anything else good to talk about the wheels before we move on to the bed?
If there are any. Handles very well in crosswinds. Very well.
Rolling is good. Rolling is good.
Rolling is very good. Tension on the spokes are very good. The only thing maybe just a small complaint is that maybe can make it a bit more lighter lah.
Is it very heavy? How heavy are these?
Actually, it's one of the lightest in this class already lah. But I'm so used to lighter rims, right? This one with tires, everything is closing to, with sealant and everything, is closing to 2 kilo already. 2 kilo plus.
So then let's move on to the bed. I think Hampini did say something about these wheels, right?
Yeah.
Can we do a bit of recap?
Yeah, so
I can't really remember what he said.
Okay, so Habibie said, what's called the spokes were loose. Some of the spokes, I think, broke. I think he was doing shipping and everything lah.
Hello, Habini fans, and welcome to another episode of the Engineering Sarcasm Show, fronted by yours truly. In today's episode, all the way from Orchard Street, 3rd floor in Singapore, these, which are Ascent wheels, actually failed while it was on test. You can see the failure there. The spoke has started to delaminate from the metal insert. So each of these inserts is metal into the nipple, and you've got a bond there between the carbon and the threaded section. Going up here, that one's okay. This one's gone. So the spoke feels loose, but what's actually happened is that. So the spoke joint has completely failed, and that's what's happening on the other wheels. It's the same brand of spoke.
Because the thing about carbon spokes, right, is very sensitive. High tension, stronger than steel. But people must remember, the harder it is, the more brittle it is, you see. So it's really quite sway. So now Ascent do not do carbon spokes anymore. Yeah, the last time I checked, they don't do carbon spokes. You're fine with stainless steel. I think stainless steel. Sapin, I think stainless steel. Spokes. As long as bladed spokes, you want to go fast, bladed spokes all day long. Yeah.
Wind Space, their hypers are carbon spokes, but I don't seem to see anyone having issues with that.
Yeah, so people must understand how carbon works, you know. It stretches, the way it stretches, right? They have what's called pulling strength, you see, but they do not have is it lateral? This is lateral, right? Lateral strength that much compared to like stainless steel spoke is a good best of both worlds things, you see. So if you use a carbon spoke, it is good if you are cycling straight, but if you're off saddle, you're tilting left and right, you see. So compared to something that is on a stainless steel side, right, stainless steel will work better. So Hyper did it right, you see. You can cycle on the flat, right? Flat, you can maintain everything, no problem. You try sprinting, compared to stainless steel spoke, you feel totally different. Like the response, right? You can feel it like as though it's trying to fling out, because the carbon is trying to pull back, you see, compared to something that is like more versatile, you see. So price cheaper, but carbon not for me.
Okay. So far you're satisfied with the wheels?
Yeah, super satisfied with it.
Alright. Okay, let's move on to the Instagram Q&A. If you guys want to ask your questions, you can follow me on Instagram and you get a chance to ask your questions. Okay, Zik,
Yo.
I don't know if it's going to be a roast or just going to be questions. You ready?
Okay, anything, bro.
First question is, what is the difference in terms of riding experience between the Merida Reacto and the Sculptura?
Sculptura is considered more of a climbing bike, lightweight climbing bike. The Reacto is more on the speed side. Yeah, but not saying that the Sculptura cannot go as fast as this, but it will be easier to go faster with the Reacto. That's one thing.
So aero and non-aero, that's the difference.
But it's not really not that aero. Basically, we put it like the Sculptura is the SL7. It's still aero, but it's not full aero. That kind of thing.
Any issues with the bike so far?
No issues so far. Yeah,
Okay.
happy.
How's the comfort of this bike compared to a traditional aero bike? Can you give me some examples of any other traditional aero bikes?
Traditional. Okay, let's say a BMC
Time Machine?
Time Machine, is it? Or is it Team Machine, the road bike one?
I think it's Time.
Time
Machine
Machine,
Road, I think it's
Oh,
called.
road machine, I think.
Something lah.
Something, okay lah. We all know lah which one. the one that's very flat,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
is it going down a
Yeah.
bit? Okay, my my experience with riding aero bikes like that, right, is not for long distance. It's really for short and sweet rides, like 40, 50 click. If you try to ride anything above 70 to 80 clicks, right, your back will just give way. You see? Because you are forever in that position. You see? Because that bike is meant for aero position all the way. But if you are not that flexible, your lower back will just give way.
Is it hard to accelerate with these super deep wheels? Acceleration.
Yeah. Yes and no. If you are accelerating from a flat, what they recommend is to go 2 gears higher. But if you have the cadence for it, you shouldn't find a problem.
Any issues with the wheel set after you've ridden it? How long have you owned this wheel set?
Coming to a year already. Coming to a year. I can't consider it an issue, but what's called time to time, because I ride a lot. So in a week, maybe close to more than 200 click, is it, per week. You have to send it for truing, or basically I have to true the tension of the spokes time to time. Yeah. So far I only done it twice. So that's considered very good already.
Right.
Yeah.
How often do people need to true their wheels? When do you know that I need to true my wheels? Is it when you just freewheel it or you let it spin? You can see it's a bit wobbly.
If you freewheel the what's called the wheel and it's wobbly, right? But you must see what kind of wobble is it. If it's a carbon rim, most likely it will just wobble like normal. If it's an alu rim, you must check whether is it the aluminium, is it dented and everything. But if let's say we say carbon rims, most of us are using carbon rims. So if it's like wobbly, send it for truing. Maybe like every 5 to 6 months. If
Wow,
you
so often?
If you ride a lot, depending on spoke, so far the Sapin spokes are actually quite good, is it? But if you ride something like the DT Champion spokes, right, those are very soft spokes. That's why most of the time people are riding the 303S, right, they find that the rims are very comfortable. Yeah, so because there's this dampening thing again. But if you're running Sapin spokes, maybe once every 8 months, like that.
And also, I think sometimes when I do interviews and I ask them to spin for a Freehub sound check, right, you can see their wheels bouncing up and down.
Means the tension is off already.
Is that tension or is it because of the balancing? So some people put weights on their wheels to balance it, just like a car tire.
Do not put weights on your rim.
Why?
One thing, you add weight.
Okay.
Add weight. The other thing is we are not using like motorcycle rims or car rims, everything where they need to do balancing. It's totally a different ball game. So if let's say if you were to spin your rim, it goes, this side is the heavier side, it's fine because we are not running so fast. We are not running 100 plus kilometers or 80 plus kilometers where you actually feel like the imbalance. So furthermore, your bike is most of the time below 10 kilo. I put it below 10 kilo. So do not put weights on your rim. It doesn't do anything other than put weight on your rims lah. So if you see your rim going up and down, you have to retension your spoke. You see? Because most likely the part where it's highest, right? If I remember correctly, the tension is a bit looser. You can actually just check by just pressing. If you cannot flex the spoke like this, right? Means the tension is good. Okay.
So then just press on the spokes like that.
Yeah. So when you press, you don't press only like this, no.
Yeah.
Most of the time, people like, like this, can lah.
Yeah.
But you have to press the other side also at the same time. So one side, this is the other side, the other end, press.
Okay.
Okay. You feel that this is quite stiff. So it should be fine.
Okay.
You see?
Okay, cool. Very, very, very good insight. What do you think about those kind of wheels which have carbon spoke, like the one-piece carbon spoke? So, for example, like the Corima MCC DX, a super
Like
expensive one.
WTO.
Something W.
The thing.
The one that has like only 4 or 5 spokes, you know?
Yeah. So like one side 3 spoke, other side 3 spoke, like that kind of thing. Those are good for long rides, because you're not off saddling everything. Most of the time you're sitting on your saddle. So it is for me it's like a one purpose rim, kind of rim, you see. So if you get those kind of spokes, right, you tend to find that, oh, I'm cycling straight, I feel very comfortable, you see. Honestly, it's much more comfortable than doing cross, but it's not as strong. Cross is always stronger, you see, compared to those straight spokes. But the looks, salah, jambu.
Yeah, it's a head turner lah.
Head turner lah.
Okay, next question is rarely see Michelin tires in Singapore. Why and how are the Michelin tires? Why and how?
I do not know whether this will burn some people or not. Okay. One of the reason is it is basically as fast as the GP 5000 STR. Second reason, super cheap, bro. One Michelin, what's it called? One GP 5000 STR, it costs you around $120. This one pair is $120.
Wow, half the price.
Half the price. Don't tell me you don't want that.
But performance is the same?
Performance is the same. But I actually like slick tires.
Yeah, so slick tires, how is it on the wets then?
Oh, I tried it.
Have you tried descending on wets?
Descending already.
Cornering?
No problem.
Okay, do you feel confident?
I feel that this has more grip on the corners than compared to the STR. Because I find that when I tried the GP 5000 when I went to SBV, certain corners I was actually scared because I can feel the tires slipping. You see? So this one so far no problem. Yeah.
How does the Ascent perform on climbs?
If you follow my Strava, you can see me going Mount Faber, all these places, right? Or basically all those rolling hills, right? It actually can climb. Honestly, it actually can climb. Just that it's just whether you have the power for it, lah. Because the thing about climbing, right? There's two things you have to understand about climbing. Climbing fast and learning how to climb. Climbing fast is basically you are sprinting to go up, you see, then you gas out. Learning how to climb it's all about pacing, you see. So if let's say you have this is where a power meter actually comes into play. You see that, oh, I can maintain 200 watt. Maintain the 200 watt. Do not look at your speed. Just maintain 200 watt, go out, let's say Faber, all these places, right? Even though it's 10, 12 kilometers per hour, right, it's fine. At the point where you reach the top, you are not gassed out. You still can ride more, you see? Instead of like, oh, I will bomb the thing, go up, then after that, okay, I'm done for the day. For what?
So then the power meter is very important.
The power meter is important if you are doing structured training, you see?
What's the structured training? What do you mean by that?
So, like, for me, I like to go fast. Let's say like sprinting, going high speed at long distance, kind of thing. So most of the time when doing my group rides, right, I like to pull. Most of the time people don't say this. No? Most of the time I like to draft, but I don't like to pull. So for me, I like to pull because I like the view of the front. I don't need to follow somebody bontot on my face. I can follow. I can. What's it called? I lead all the way. So I will control the amount of speed. But most of the time, I like to go a bit faster lah. There might be a bit of complaint here and there, but the thing is, you know where you stand. So when you sprint, at least you do not need to overtake somebody to sprint. You can just straight away sprint. So in terms of structured training, let's say Tuesday is all about sprinting. It's not about distance really. It's about, most of the time people do sprinting is the 300 to 400 meters. Just sprint, walk bomb the thing, recover for half a lap, then sprint again, that kind of thing. So you know, like, okay, when you go like RTI kind of thing, you know where you can actually put the power in.
What's the difference between a 54 tooth hub compared to a normal one, and do you need 54?
For me, I like a 54 compared to the stock 36. I think 36. 36. So for me, I like higher engagement because I'm those people who do not stop pedaling. You see, if you are those people who will constantly pedal and do not freewheel much, even on a descent, right? 54 tooth will actually help you a lot compared to 36, because you can find that free play. Like this one, there's no free play.
Just like a mountain bike.
Like a mountain bike. So that's where I'm starting to learn, like trying to combine this mountain bike and road bike together. Okay, this one can put like that. Oh, okay, can lah.
Then you can go and buy a fork and put shock absorbers here.
Oh,
Rock shocks.
bro. Become Merida Rube.
Yeah. Well, a lot of questions on Polaris. Next question again on Polaris.
Oh.
What other big brands out there can compete with a Polaris?
Other big brands compete with Polaris, or Polaris compete with a big brand?
Either one. Maybe for the money, like what other brands can you get? Maybe I think that's the question.
Okay, we cannot see the Ascent as like the wheels like on the hyper wheels level. You know, they are actually higher than that. You see, because one thing is like the hypers, right? They follow stock sizing, like 50 mm, 35 mm, or 32 mm, or 60 mm, or 65 mm, like 60 or 65, I can't remember lah. So for like the Polaris is running 69. It's very an odd number lah, but the thing is there was reasons behind why it's 69 that I can't remember why lah. But
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so if you want to talk about competing with higher brands, right? To me, this is, let's say I were to compare with like the what's called the Campanolo WTO or this, right? They can fight. Yeah, it really depends on what you need from the bike. You see, different bike setup, different wheel set will give you different experience. It's all about the feel lah. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on from Polaris. I think too many questions on Polaris. How many watts do you save with a gold chain and OSPW?
Okay. A lot of people tend to think that you should buy what's called like, okay, about chains, right? I'm a bit touchy. This is one thing that I take it very personally, because the way I do my chains, right? When I get a new chain, right, it comes to the point, right, it is so clean, you can lick the thing, and you won't die. You get sick, like not die, like you won't get sick. You see, because like it is not a brand that a lot of people use. Like people usually use KMC or their own brand like Shram or what's called Shimano kind of thing, right? But if you really dive through this chain thing, right, actually a YBN SLA chain is considered the best because you have durability. At the same time, you have Dura-Ace, technically close to a Dura-Ace chain, because Dura-Ace chain is actually very efficient. Because a chain, it is what's most important is the pins and rollers, not the outer link. The outer link is just, let's say, like the gaps, all this, right, or hollow pin, everything, right, is just to save weight. But most important is that the rollers and the pins are of tolerance, you see. And what loop you use, honestly, wax is the best. It's very clean. This is what, already 300 click. 300 click is still okay lah, got a bit here and there, but how you going to clean this is just take a rag. That's enough already. What? You don't need to degrease. I never degrease my chain for very long already.
But it's very important before you put on a wax that your chain and the group is very clean.
Yeah.
Right? You can't have a bit of oil in there and then you loop.
Oil or water, everything, right? Cannot. Yeah. But once you get to know how to do it, right, it's actually nothing. You will forever use this method all the way.
Let's talk about your bottles. You have a funny combination. One aero bottle, one not aero bottle. The question is, do the aero bottles fall out often? And my question is, why do you have an aero bottle and the other one's not?
Oh. Aero bottle versus this one, right?
Yeah.
This one home water.
Okay.
Yeah, this one bought it because I thought it looks cool and everything, but most likely I will change the bottle to the normal bottle already.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's not enough water lah. Really, it's really.
But does the bottle fall out?
Oh no.
It doesn't fall out.
It
It's very
doesn't,
secure.
because I think most people who bought this bottle, right, hold on. Is what's called? They bought
clip.
the clip one. My one is the magnetic one. Yeah, so it doesn't fall off.
Okay. How bright is the integrated light? Is it reliable enough for a... Where is it coming from? Is there someone downstairs?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How bright is the integrated light? Is it reliable enough to function as a daytime running light?
Yeah, more than enough.
And you only need AAA batteries, right?
Yeah,
That you
AAA
mentioned
battery
earlier. Okay. And you don't run external light, so you just
No.
solely use that light?
Yeah.
There are a lot of questions on Polaris. I think we've answered most of it, I hope.
Yeah.
My last question to you. How important is ceramic bearings compared to steel? Do we need ceramic bearings?
No ceramic. No ceramic. I don't believe in all this ceramic thing.
Yeah.
Best is always to go stainless steel. If you're not racing or anything, actually even if you're racing, just go stainless steel. Ultra low friction bearing, good, very good lubrication. You'll be as fast as the ceramic speed or whatever ceramic out there lah.
Do you think it's more of a marketing thing? It's just like so that they can sell you and just charge you more for it?
Yeah, of course lah.
They just slap the word ceramic and then people charge you at
ceramic
$300.
Speed. You buy $700 to go faster. I said, oh, okay, can. I never got this. No
Okay.
ceramic here. I don't
Awesome,
like.
man. I have the same opinion. I mean, I made a very bad decision when I bought my hubs. I was sold to the ceramic thing, but when after buying it, there's no difference, man.
You do know? Okay, the thing is about ceramic bearings, right? I don't think anybody talked about this before. If you buy ceramic bearings, right, you must have a full ceramic bearing. What I mean by full ceramic bearing, right? The outer race, the inner race, the balls, everything must be ceramic. Reason being, ceramic is harder than steel. So most of the time when you see ceramic, like say ceramic speed, right? Ceramic is ceramic ball, but stainless steel inner race and outer race. So what happens is, the ceramic material, right, will dig into the inner race. After some time, right, most likely, if you ride a lot, after 6 months, right, you feel your bearing. You got play, no? Up and down, left and right. So now you have to change. Spend $600.
I think the Hambini did mention about this, and so let's say you buy a ceramic speed OSPW, right? Is the inner and outer race ceramic or steel?
Steel.
So there'll be some play over time.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you just buy lah. People buy ceramic speed $600. What's another $1,000 like with the aero cage, everything?
Okay.
Yeah.
So now are you saying that most companies, when they sell ceramic, chances are the outer and inner races are steel,
Still steel.
but only the balls are ceramic?
Yes. It's cheaper.
Okay.
Yeah, because you to make a full ceramic, right? The problem with a full ceramic bearing, right? Let's say I put it on bottom bracket. Like I say, it's one of the most hardest working part of your bike, right? You hit one bump. Because like earlier in the video, harder equals to more brittle, right? You cannot have both. It's just how things work, okay? So if you kena one pothole, one deep pothole, right, the thing can crack, right? Gone. Yeah, that's why they don't use full ceramic. They use ceramic ball, what's called stainless steel inner and outer race. Yeah.
Wow, Zik, I've learned so much from this interview just talking to you today. Thank you so much for coming.
No problem.
Any last things you want to talk about to my viewers?
Oh.
You would like to share or anything that I missed out?
Don't buy because of looks. Buy because of function. Buy within your means. Do not buy just because, oh, my friend got Pinarello, I buy Pinarello. You might think that, oh, that Pinarello will fit you. Honestly, I cannot fit a Pinarello because they do not have my size. As in, because of the geometry, everything. Buy something that really fits you. Having comfort is more important than performance most of the time. Because if you are more comfortable, you can perform better. If you have more performance, you have no comfort, you cannot perform also. That's my take.
Very wise words.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
Thank you, bro.
No
Thanks for
problem,
the
man.
interview. Thank you so much for coming. I'm so sorry that we postponed so many times.
No problem.
Yeah. I hope you had fun, and I hope to see more of your kakis coming on my show. I heard you know a lot of people who are very
I'll
experienced.
bring in my mentor.
Yes. Please get him to come. Okay, we'll end it here. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next video. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Searching all night, can't seem to focus this double sight. This is a tale sworn in a sight. Finding my way back to life.